Hey, what's up, folks? I'm now 2.5 months into owning a Steam Deck, and it hasn't been my exclusive only device over this time. I've played some PS5, I played a couple games on Switch and finished them, and then I came back to the Steam Deck after I think about 2.5 or 3 weeks of just having it completely powered down, and I didn't use it. And when I came back to it, it felt like a brand new device again, mostly because I was trying to find something to play. And as I was going through my backlog and then I looked at the Steam store and stuff and I tried to find something to play, I was like, man, do I go back to my Switch? This is like taking all this time and the screen's not as nice as the OLED Switch screen. I could play on my PS5. Man, I don't want to be bootstrapped to my office. Like all this stuff came up and then I finally found a game I was super happy with. It's Dungeon something Dungeon Part 2. One More Dungeon 2. This game's a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying it, and it got me sucked back into the Steam Deck. And that's why I'm making this video. I've realized that there's really 4 reasons why the Steam Deck has been such an amazing device for me. And this probably applies to you. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 points will apply to you, in which case I'd love to hear your feedback. So here's the big thing though. I sold my desktop. I had a nice desktop PC with a 2070 Ti Super. 2070 Super in it. It was a really nice video card. And I'm in my office all day, right? So in my office with that thing roaring, even when I'm just working, I didn't realize how annoying it was until I turned it off one day and fired up my laptop, which is dead silent. It's a MacBook. And I was like, man, it's actually kind of peaceful in here. My goodness, like my office is nice. And anyhow, then, to get rid of that and then come back to my deck, it's like, I don't miss my desktop at all. Like games look better when you have a 2070 Super, but man, this is totally good enough for this small screen. And then I docked it using just some silly USB-C dongle thing that I've had for years. I docked it to a 27-inch 1440p display. Looked great. I upped the resolution. The frame rate came down, of course, but it still looked really good. And I realized that there's 4 reasons why the Steam Deck has been a really good device for me. So the first one is mobility, and I kind of already talked about that. I'm in my office about 7 to 9 hours a day. Like I take one break out of my office, it's to go to the gym. Like sometimes, I'll take the kids to school or something like that, but for the most part, I'm stuck in here for long periods of time consistently. And unless I gotta pee or something. And the something, by the way, is pooping. So anyway, it's my own little corner of the house, which is nice, right? I can decorate it the way I want and I can make it mine. I've got my tech in here. I've got a nice TV for if I want to watch a nice movie or something. But for the most part, like it's just tiring to be in the same room all day long. That's just the way I roll. But with the deck, I can go anywhere, right? Like I can go to my backyard. I can go into a different room in the house. I can go in the family room. I can be in the kitchen, just sit on the kitchen table and, be around the family. And it's one thing to say, like, I'm going to play some intense shooter while my kid's trying to tell me about her day. Like, that's ridiculous, right? Spend time with your kid. But if, the kids are getting their TV time or their tech time, I can have tech time with them. And that's really a lot of fun. I enjoy that. The second reason is convenience. And the number one thing you just observed, that's the pause and resume functionality. Like, that is an absolute game changer for PC games. Unless you're playing an online game, right, it requires a consistent online connection, you can pause any game at any time, right? So if I hear one of my kids crying or screaming, or like my son's trying to find his Spider-Man toys, all I have to do is hit the power button and just set the darn thing down. And I'm off, go help my kid with whatever he or she needs, and then come back and bam, turn it right back on. And within seconds, I'm back into the game. That is an absolute game changer. And I hope that somehow this gets better. Maybe I could have one day with Steam Deck 2 or Steam Deck OS version 20, I could have multiple games in this like suspended state without really affecting performance. That would be really cool because sometimes I just want to take a break from one game and go play another, and I don't want to have to restart that first game. So just something to think about. Valve, you're definitely not watching this. The third reason is comfort. I've spent a ton of money over the years, I'm sure you have too, on everything it takes to be comfortable in the office, right? Gaming chairs or racing chairs, or office chairs. I've tried them all. Keyboards, mice, monitors, desks. Like I have tried everything just to be comfortable in here. And everyone's a little different, right? Some people have challenges with their back, some don't. Some it's wrists, some it's elbows and stuff. Like I've got a bunch of different like inflammatory things going on in my body. So for me, it's like a constant hunt to be comfortable. But the one thing that's always more comfortable than sitting at a desk, at least for me, is laying down. or I'm gonna lay on my stomach or lay on my back or do a little bit of both, rotate a little bit, lay on the couch, lay on my bed, it's better than sitting at a desk. Now, again, the fidelity you get on a high-powered desktop or a high-powered laptop with a big 27 or 32-inch monitor, it destroys this little guy here, right? But the fact that you can hold it so comfortably and bring it within a foot of your eyes and angle it the way you want to, right? Use the gyroscope for additional aiming too. It's so much more comfortable than sitting at a desk. Now, you may feel differently. Maybe you don't have a Steam Deck, and so this might, to you, seem like some kind of puff piece or something, but believe me, this is a non-monetized channel, and Valve doesn't know I exist. So this is not a puff piece on is puff piece the right term? I don't know. This is not I'm not trying to shill for some brand here. I'm literally telling you I find it more comfortable. So that's reason number 3. And then finally, the 4th reason I don't have a good name for, right? There's mobility, convenience, comfort. I'm calling this blah because I don't know what else to call it, but for whatever reason, the games I've played the most on the deck so far in 2.5 months have been my backlog. It's been older games that I bought. Maybe I got in a Humble Bundle pack and I never tried the game, or I bought a game because it was on sale and I just put it on the back burner, like Shadow of War, the sequel to Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor, is that what it's called? Anyway, the game with the orcs. I bought that on a sale for $10, and then I never played it, and I figured, one day I'll play it. And then just the other day, I mentioned I came back to my deck, and I was like, what am I gonna play? I started playing that. I downloaded it. It's 100 gigabytes, so it took a while. But I downloaded it and I started playing it, and I was enjoying it. And I'll go back to it, but I really want to try this game because I got the itch for a dungeon crawler. And anyway, I was like, okay, cool. That's the deck, man. The deck is so convenient. And for whatever reason, I don't know what the term is, it just pushed me back into my backlog. And I'm not alone. I've read from a lot of other deck users on Reddit who are doing the same thing. They just got drawn into their older backlog games. Now, I'm definitely not gonna, there's some games that I will never play, like the Lego series. It's just not my thing. But you buy a game for $10 on a Humble Bundle and it comes with 25 Lego games. So I've got a lot of Lego games. But there are some things I won't play out of my library of 400 Steam games. But if I can knock off a few more, that'd be really cool. But I will tell you, my favorite type of game to play on the deck so far has been first-person games. In this case, it's a first-person dungeon crawler, but first-person shooters, I love. Going back and playing Doom over again, like Doom 2016, and then Doom Eternity, I think it's called. Replaying those was a lot of fun, and then I went back and played Quake, and I started playing Quake 2 until I got stuck on a map, and then I remembered, that's why I never finished Quake 2. It's so hard to remember, the level design is so weird, and the backtracking is so difficult. Anyway, I just want to get this out there, that those are the 4 things that have really made me not regret selling my desktop, totally moving on from, high-powered desktop gaming. It's been a blast. I don't regret it at all. And if you're in the same position, I'd love to hear about it. If you aren't using your desktop now because you have this, let's talk about it. It's super cool. I I think it's super cool because it's what I'm doing. So naturally, I think it's the best. But anyway, let me know what you think. I just think it's really cool that we have this option now. And you get battery life of 2.5 to 3 hours on demanding games. If you do your settings right, it's super cool. And honestly, I'm loving the tinkering too. That's a lot of fun. But I covered that in my last video. So anyhow, that's my next video on the Steam Deck. Hope you liked it. Catch you on the next one. Cheers.